Now comes the part that what is the need or benefit or significance, whatever you like to call it, of having more women in the top leadership role. So there are many benefits. The first benefit that we have just discussed is this serve as a role model. This serve as a role model which basically aspire other women, other girls to become or to reach at the top level. If they don't see anyone at the top, they also start realizing after some time, this is how our society has been, they also start realizing after some time that these top positions are not meant for women, because we cannot reach over there, or they are something which requires something which only men have. But if you have women on the top, they become the role model for other girls, and they also aspire and put an effort to reach over there, right? So they serve as a role model. They serve as role models. Second is, it has been, like, many studies has been conducted, and it has been found that if more women are there at the leadership role, it creates inclusive work environment. It creates inclusive work environment where people from other gender, other parts of the society, maybe vulnerable section, they also want to become part of that work environment, right? Because of the policies, because of something where we can see diversity in the offices or the work environment. So women in the top places create more inclusive work environment. They create more inclusive work environment, right? So more likely to create more likely to create inclusive work environment. Right, which will be like having policies which are women friendly, right? Having policies which actually maybe providing better facilities for women, right? So their offices, if women is at the top, these kind of things will be taken care of. Then there are two more things that has been found. If you have more women in the top leadership role, or if you have more diversity in the board of directors, then the probability of having better financials for that company is 20 to 30% higher as compared to other companies which are being run completely by men, right? So there is an improvement in the financials where more women are on the board. Second, when the women are on the board, there are more initiatives, or they basically, women are or those companies are, in those companies it is easier to champion initiatives or to champion such initiatives which are for diversity, right? So diversity and inclusion can be brought in, or it helps in bringing diversity and inclusion, plus it improves the finances, or it improves the possibility of having better financials, right? So write down third point: female leaders frequently champion initiatives for diversity. And better possibility of finances. It brings in broader perspective, right? If there are only people from particular gender, people from particular section of the society, people from particular caste or particular religion, there will be less perspective. You won't be able to diversify your market, or you won't be able to diversify your product, you won't be able to diversify your sales pitch. But if there is diversity, in the top leadership, then more perspective will be added and more talent will be added. You can basically cater to the better market, and this is the reason for better finances, right? So write down next point: broader range of talent and perspectives. Broader range of talent and perspectives. So can advocate for policies, they can help or they can advocate for policies which benefit women or working women, right? So if women is not there in the top leadership, how will somebody framing the policies will understand the problem of women, or will understand what extra is required for the women to work effectively in this office, or what changes need to be done in the work environment or the policies, when to provide them flexibility, how to provide them flexibility. There was a recent discussion with respect to menstrual leaves, right? So these kind of discussions will not take place if women is not there at the top. Why a man would talk about menstrual leaves sitting at the top, where all the men are sitting in a room and they are talking about what is going to happen in India-Pakistan match today, right? They will not talk about menstrual cycles, they will not talk about menstrual leaves, and you need to understand this. This is what I'm trying to explain you over here, ki that is why they are required in the top, because they bring in that new perspective, they bring in that new things, or basically they bring in that inclusivity, where policies can be framed in a much balanced way, where policies or where work environment can be improved in such a way that all the sections of the society, all the genders of the society can work and give their best, right? So it can like women can advocate for policies that benefit working women. That benefit working women, like child care leave, parental leaves, now in government we have parental leaves, but in corporates, in private corporates, most of them doesn't have the concept of parental leave. So what is a parental leave? Say woman is giving a birth to a child. In government you can take 15 days off when a child is born, so that you can also share the responsibility, or you can help in the domestic chores when your wife has given birth, right? Similarly, like women in the government jobs in India are allowed to have 2 years of leave from the birth of their child till the 18 years of age. They can take leaves intermittently, or they can take it in a one go, depending on the needs of the child, right? But in private they will not allow these kind of things. So child care leaves, paternity leaves are not a concept. But if you try to understand that if you are not giving leaves to both men and women, then the problem arises in the society. Then it has been like you have decided that it is only the work of women, and male has an excuse, or a, not, if I won't say not an excuse, but has a necessity that he has to continuously go to office if they want to earn money, right? But if corporates are understandable that yes, these works require you both the people, or there should be provisions where if she wants to work she can go that day and you can take a leave, right? So that is why flexibility, work from home, hybrid systems should be there, and they should not be only for women, they should be both for men and women if you want to have a more inclusive work culture, right? Parental leave should be there for both men and women, so that men can also share the domestic chores, right? Otherwise what has been done from last hundreds of years, you are continuing the same thing. You are basically putting certain things only for the women, right? Which is again wrong if you think that running a house is not just the responsibility of women, right? It is the equal responsibility of both the parents, or it's the equal responsibility of both men and women. And you might not be able to realize it right now, but if I give you just my example to you, see what happens is I am able to take classes on weekend, I am able to be here in the office on weekdays, I am able to take sessions till 10 in the night. And how it is all possible? Because when I am in the class, I am not thinking that how my say 9 months daughter is going to be fed or what is being fed to her. I am not concerned that if my house is clean today or not, right? Because why I'm not concerned? Because I know that there is somebody at home who will take care of all this. But she is also at, if not at a top leadership position, she is basically a senior or a middle leadership position, I could say, right? She is like, my wife is a CA, and she is managing both the things, house and the office, right? So this is the difference, that I am not thinking about house when I'm here, but when she is in the office, she might have to think about house. She might have to think about what is happening over there. She might have to think about childcare. She might have to think about in-laws care, right? This is something which is extra pressure on the women, which you and I might not realize, right? Because we are not going through that pressure, but it's a fact. No matter how much you become, say, or you talk about that we are modern, or how much you say that there is a equality or in the society and we divide the domestic chores, whatever division you make, your mind will not function in that way, the way women mind is working. And that is why we need to take care of the things which can basically give equal opportunity to the women, right? And that is why equal opportunity is required. Otherwise, this is the reason why only 16% female or say 18% female are reaching at the top leadership, and rest all are being taken by the men. That men do not have four hands. You need to understand this, right? They are also doing the same thing, but they are just focused without break. They are able to do it. But women has certain biological needs due to which they have to take a break, and that biological needs include reproduction, where they have to take a maternity leave, where they have to take a child care leave, and due to which the organizations started to feel that their focus on work is less, right? Which is a problem in the society. It should not be the case.